Welcome back to the Deep Dive.
Good to be here.
You know, usually when we talk about music history, or any history really, we tend to talk in these broad strokes.
Right, decades. The 60s, the 80s.
Exactly. But today, we are zooming way, way in. We're getting microscopic.
It really is microscopic. We're talking about, what, 36 months?
Just 3 years. 1993 to 1995.
Which sounds like a tiny blip. But in UK underground culture, those 3 years felt like a lifetime. It was an evolutionary sprint.
Seriously. We're digging into the Drum and Bass Jungle Story Episode 2, the Jungle Era. And the goal here is to unpack how a raw, kind of chaotic rave sound just fractured.
It completely splintered.
Right. Into 3 different genres, mutated like crazy, and then somehow matured into what you call high art.
All before most bands even get their second album out. It's incredible.
It's the perfect way to frame it, because this isn't just about music. It's a pressure cooker, isn't it?
It absolutely is. You've got technology changing fast, you've got social tension, and all this multiculturalism colliding in London.
At 170 beats per minute.
Which we should probably pause on, 170 BPM.
Yeah, because if you're not familiar, if you listen to house or hip-hop, that is fast.
It's panic level. It's the speed your heart beats if you're sprinting for your life.
Or in a state of total euphoria. That's the energy we're talking about.
It's frantic.
So let's set the scene. It's in 93, the early rave scene, happy hardcore. It's getting a little...
Sale is a polite word.
Okay.
I mean, you have to remember, that early scene was all smiley faces, glow sticks, big cheesy piano riffs.
Total escapism.
Pure escapism. But by 93, that euphoria was kind of wearing off. The vibe was just getting heavier. And the music, it went dark.
And this is where we get the first of the 3 big flavors the source material talks about. The dark side.
The dark side. And it wasn't a subtle shift at all.
It sounds like something from Star Wars, but the source describes it as genuinely theatrical. We go from peace and love to dark and dangerous almost overnight.
We do.
So why? Why does a party scene suddenly decide it wants to be terrified?
Well, it's a great question. I mean, why do we watch horror movies?
Not a rush, I guess.
Hardly. But there's something more sociological going on here. The source material uses this amazing phrase, survival music.
Survival music. That's a heavy term for dance music.
It is, but think about inner city London in the early 90s. It wasn't the gentrified place we might think of now. It was gritty.
High unemployment, high crime.
A lot of tension. And the producers making this music, Doc Scott, Four Hero, Goldie, they were just holding up a mirror to their environment.
So those happy piano sounds from 92 just felt dishonest to them.
They felt like a lie. Exactly. If you're living in a concrete tower block, a song about clouds and rainbows just doesn't connect. You want something that matches the anxiety of your actual life.
Let's get into the anatomy of that sound, because they were so clever about it. It wasn't just fast drums.
No, they changed the entire texture of the sound. We have to geek out a little on the technology here. This was the era of the sampler, the Akai sampler, and they were using a technique called time stretching.
Okay. Break that down for me.
So normally if you speed up a sample, the pitch goes up, right? Like a chipmunk voice.
All right.
Time stretching let them change the speed without changing the pitch. But the tech was so primitive, it left behind these digital artifacts, this grainy metallic texture.
So like digital grit.
That's the perfect term for it. It sounded industrial. And then they layered that with the samples they were choosing.
No more disco records.
Not at all. They were rating their VHS takes. Horror movies, sci-fi. You hear screams, ominous dialogue, that kind of thing.
The track the source points to as a landmark is Doc Scott's Here Comes the Drums. Even the title sounds like a threat.
It is a threat. Here comes the drums. It's so stripped back. It's not trying to make you happy. It's trying to intimidate you with bass. Yeah. It's menacing.
And thousands of people are in a warehouse at 2 a.m. losing their minds to what is essentially the sound of a panic attack.
It's catharsis, though. That's the key.
Yeah.
You dance out the tension so you don't have to carry it with you.
But, and this is what's so wild, while all that is happening, in another corner of the scene, a totally opposite energy is just exploding.
The yang to the dark side's yin.
Raga jungle.
Yes.
And this feels so uniquely British. You couldn't have had this sound in Berlin or Detroit.
No way. This is a direct result of the Windrush generation's kids coming of age. You had black and white kids who grew up in London listening to reggae and dancehall from their parents.
But they were also going to UK raves.
Exactly. It's a literal mashup. You take the jungle break beats.
Which we should probably clarify. We're talking about those fast, funky drum loops sampled from old records.
And one in particular, the Amen break.
The Amen break, the backbone of it all.
The absolute backbone. So in Ragged Jungle, you take that frantic Amen break, speed it up to that 170 BPM panic speed.
But then you put these slow, heavy reggae bass lines underneath.
Huge rolling dub bass lines.
See, it creates this really weird push and pull, doesn't it? The drums are sprinting, but the bass is strolling.
It does. Gives it that unique skanking feel. And then the key ingredient is the vocal. You get these MCs toasting that rhythmic Jamaican chanting right over the top.
The source points to one track as the anthem, Original Nuda.
Shy FX and UK Apache, 1994. You can't overstate how massive that tune was. It's the Smells Like Teen Spirit of Jungle.
What made that specific track just blow the roof off?
Well, it starts with an air raid siren, so it grabs you immediately.
Okay.
Then UK Apache's vocal comes in, and it's almost melodic at first before it drops into this aggressive rapid-fire chat. And when that bass line hits, it's just pure joy. It's not scary, it's a celebration, it's swagger.
Swagger is the perfect word. It's pure confidence.
It was an identity claim. Artists like Rebel MC, they were basically saying, we're taking this rave tech and stamping our Caribbean heritage all over it.
And it worked so well, it actually went mainstream.
Huge. Incredible by M-Beat and General Levy. That was in the actual pop charts. Suddenly you're hearing jungle on the radio next to boy bands.
I can imagine the underground purists weren't too happy about that.
Oh, there was a massive backlash. Some people felt it was becoming a caricature.
Yeah.
You know, too many gunshot samples, too many air horns.
Which sets up the third pivot perfectly. It's like a reaction against the reaction. We've had the horror movie, we've had the dance hall party. Now it's, the jazz club?
The coffee table era.
Intelligent Jungle. Now, I have to admit, the name is a little
insulting.
Yeah, it kind of implies everything else was stupid jungle.
The source material actually mentions that. The producers themselves, guys like LTJ Bookham, they didn't love the name. But the media needed a label. It was just shorthand for music for your head, not just your feet.
So what does head music sound like at 170 BPM? They didn't slow it down, did they?
No, the tempo's still high. But they smoothed out all the harsh edges. Instead of those distorted, aggressive bass lines, you got deep, warm, hunging sub-bass.
Yeah.
And the samples moved from horror movies to, like, jazz fusion records.
So we're talking saxophones and pianos.
Saxophones, Rhodes pianos, flutes, ambient, spacey pads.
The key track mentioned here is Horizons by LTJ Bookham.
A total masterpiece.
I was listening to it this morning, and it is genuinely beautiful. It starts with bird sounds and these synth washes. It feels like a sunrise.
That's the perfect description. If Dark Side was the 3 a.m. panic, Intelligent Jungle was the 6 a.m. sunrise. It was the come down.
It proved the genre could have real emotional depth.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it had its own whole ecosystem. Good-looking records.
Alchemist label.
Yeah, and the branding was so different. The album covers looked like modern art or sci-fi book covers. It was all designed to say, this is sophisticated.
It's just wild that all three of these sounds, Dark Side, Raga, Intelligent, are all happening at the same time.
And you'd hear them all in one night at a rave. A DJ would take you on this emotional roller coaster.
We'll get to the raves, but there's one figure who seems to bridge all of these worlds. The source paints him as the genre's first real rock star.
Goldie, Clifford Price, the man with the gold teeth.
The notes describe his charisma as just magnetic. He wasn't some producer hiding in a dark room.
No, he was vital. Every scene needs a face, and Goldie was that guy. He could go on TV and explain this chaos to normal people. He had the street cred from being a graffiti artist, but he also had this huge, almost arrogant artistic vision.
Which leads to the album Timeless, 1995.
Timeless. I mean, the title alone is a statement of intent, right?
He wasn't just making a dance track.
No, he wanted to make something that could sit on a shelf next to Miles Davis.
And we have to talk about the title track. In a genre built on 3-minute DJ tools, he drops a 21-minute epic.
21 minutes. It's basically a symphony. It has movements.
It has strings,
real vocalists. Diane Charlemagne's vocal on that is just iconic. He took the musicality, the intelligent sound, and fused it with the dark side pressure of inner city life.
And that's the moment the critics had to take it seriously, isn't it?
That's the moment jungle becomes high art. You could review Timeless in a serious music magazine. It wasn't just for kids in a warehouse anymore.
And Goldie himself became a proper celebrity.
He was everywhere. He was dating Bjork. He was in James Bond films. For a guy from the rave underground to cross over like that, it was just unheard of.
But did he sell out? That's always the question.
Sources argue no, because the music on Timeless, it's still really challenging. It's not pop. He didn't dumb it down. He forced the mainstream to catch up to him.
I love that. Okay, so we've got the music, we've got the star, but where did the average person actually experience this?
Well, you navigated by the logo on the record sleeve. Before the internet, the label was your lighthouse.
So break down the tribes for me.
Okay, so you see the Metalhead Skull logo, that's Goldie's label. You know you're getting something dark, experimental. The Cool Kids table.
Got it.
Moving Shadow with that little Running Man logo, that's more techie, polished, maybe a bit more minimal.
And for the Sunrise vibes.
Good-looking records, of course.
Yeah.
Then you had Reinforced for the really hardcore scientific breakbeats and V recordings. If you just wanted that rolling, funky jump-up sound.
It's like picking a football team. You've got your fellers.
It really was. You wore the t-shirt, and you represented that label at the raves.
The source lists some legendary names. One Nation, Roast, Helter Skelter.
And we need to be clear about the scale of these things. These were not nightclubs.
The notes mentioned aircraft hangars.
Yes. Or huge agricultural showgrounds. Just cavernous industrial spaces.
The acoustics must have been insane.
Concrete and corrugated iron, so the sound is just bouncing everywhere. And the sound systems were built for physical impact. The bass was a visceral thing.
It hits you in the chest.
Literally.
Yeah.
Your whole body vibrates. It's not just hearing it, you're being assaulted by it in the best possible way.
And these were marathons.
6, 8, 10 hours. Thousands of people packed in. The energy was just incredible. The source calls it UK youth culture at its rawest.
It was a ritual.
It really was. For that generation, the weekend rave was their church. It cut across class, across race. Everyone was part of the same organism in that hangar.
So by 1995, Goldie releases Timeless. The music is everywhere. But the source calls this period the jungle era, which implies it ends. What happens?
It's sort of a Ship of Theseus thing. The music didn't stop, but it changed its name.
It rebranded.
Essentially. The term jungle started to get some bad press, scare stories in the tabloids. And the sound was changing anyway. It got tighter, more technical.
Less chaotic.
Less swingy. Yeah. The amen break got chopped up into straighter, punchier rhythms. And the scene started calling it drum and bass.
So is there a real musical difference?
There is. Jungle is the raw, chaotic parent. Drum and bass is the polished, more engineered child.
Which then goes global and splinters into liquid funk, nerf funk.
A whole other story. But that 93 to 95 period, that was the Wild West, when the rules were being written in real time.
Before we wrap, there's a thought I want to leave everyone with.
Go for it.
We started this whole deep dive talking about survival music.
Right. Born from tension, poverty, this dystopian London.
So isn't it just incredible that in only 2 years, a genre born from such harsh reality produced a 21-minute orchestral masterpiece?
It's the ultimate paradox of creativity, isn't it? You'd think that kind of oppressive environment would crush art.
Or at least keep it angry and crude.
But here, the pressure acted like a diamond press.
Diamond press, I like that.
The darkness didn't stifle them. It fueled this desperate, sophisticated ambition. Guys like Goldie were saying, we might be from the concrete jungle, but we can make something sublime.
From the gutter to the stars at 170 beats per minute.
That's the story of Jungle.
Thank you for helping us break it all down today.
Anytime. It was a pleasure to revisit the Golden Age.
And to you listening, whether you were there or not, go listen to Timeless. It really does live up to the name. Stay curious, and we will catch you on the next deep dive.